All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If I could have the students lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Kristen Kambenzi,
Here.
Jennifer Ray,
Here.
Jason Zadunik,
Here.
Jennifer Cliff, Cheryl Maddox-Smith,
Here.
Cassidy Thomas, Eric Smith.
Here. All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Zadunik, support by Mr. Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Kambenzi, and for those of you that joined us this evening, we do have a guest, Bridget Joyce from Myron Construction, who is going to present an update on our facilities communication planning. And I'm going to walk up and hand you this handy little clicker.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Red means live, right? Yes.
Green means live? Green is live. Okay. Hi, everybody. How are we doing? Good.
Yep.
Bridget Joyce here from Myron Construction. I should be brief this evening. Just wanted to share a quick update with everyone on where we're at as far as bond communications are going. Because I looked back and realized I haven't come to speak with you guys since like November, other than just being present for a few executive motions, etc. So, in front of you are a couple handouts that we will get to in my few slides that I have to cover. And then I have another little take home for you guys as well. We're giving you homework tonight. But this is very conversational, so please stop me if you have questions or if there's more information that you would like from me. Alrighty, so kicking things off, I just wanted to kind of ground us in what's been happening. So as you can see on the screen, this is just a timeline. You may be familiar with this, but the bottom row is getting a little busy with a lot of stops, right? We've had a lot of action in the last couple months. The winter's been busy, but not going into a lot of detail on this because you guys have seen this before, but big picture, following January 12th and the the formal adoption of the bond, we have kicked off our communications efforts, which is what I'm here to update you on. So we've been very busy the last month and a half, getting our key messages solidified, making sure that we're ready to really hit the ground running, as this first mailer that you guys have in your hands will be hitting mailboxes in the next 10 days or so here. A lot of words on this slide, but what I want you to take away from this specific slide is that your bond proposal language is long. And this is what's going to show up on the ballot on Election Day on May 5th. So as board members, I would love for you guys to not only go in with the understanding that taxpayers are going to have a lot of legal jargon to read through on this question, but to help them understand it and digest it and make it understandable. So that's what today is all about, is giving you guys a couple takeaways so that on Election Day, when your voters see this question, they're not like, oh my gosh, what is this? I've never seen this, right? So you don't need to read through it right now. You've heard it before. You've approved it and adopted it. But I did want to ground us in our goal for today is to make this a digestible proposal question. So bond communications, our three goals are mobilize, energize, and emphasize, right? So the last month we've spent mobilizing. Now we're really energizing. The piece you see in front of us is our big first mailer. That's called our fact sheet. That's our Bible. That is our one-stop shop of everything bond that we want to make sure every voter and taxpayer see and understand. So what we move forward from there, we've got a next month or two that we're really going to energize the public, and then we're going to emphasize towards that last month and make sure that our messaging is all about getting people to the polls. With May 5th being an off election, our key purpose is going to be really making sure that the voting public are taking time on May 5th to hit the polls, or before if they choose to do an absentee. But just a few little headlines on the side there, some graphics that I thought were fun from previous news media. So people are hopefully starting to become more aware of the bond with press releases and things that we've been doing. So hopefully you're starting to hear some rumblings in the community. But your press has been really positive, so I think that's really amazing. You guys have a lot of support in the community for getting information out and sharing, so we'll keep that rolling. In our public information campaign, we have 3 main categories of reaching our folks. Print and mail deliverables, which is like an example of what you have in your hands there with the fact sheet. Community engagement, like information nights and road shows, our large group media and presentation style, and then our digital deliverables, everything from the district website to the social media posts that you guys have probably been seeing that are scheduled out weekly. So from here and through May 5th, you guys have a weekly, if not more frequently, specific bond post. So stay tuned and make sure you share those. If you guys see them and you guys would like to and have social media and a Facebook page, I think it's really impactful to have board members sharing those posts as well. So we take those 3 categories that we just kind of covered, and they are all developed into this communication plan. Again, a lot of text, a lot of type on a small screen, but big picture here is that we have a week-by-week plan of what we're doing. And you see towards the bottom right corner, as we're reaching those weeks, they get heavier and heavier on the gray boxes, I call them, as our to-dos and our deliverables get more frequent as we're getting that messaging out and continuing to empower our voters to get to the ballot. This is also on the Google Share if you guys are interested in diving into it further. But I just wanted to kind of show you that there is a plan. We are following the plan. We are going to hit every single taxpayer and resident here so that they are hearing about this bond. And there is our bond brand. So this is our bond logo. We also have a horizontal version that you may have seen. You'll see it on the buttons that you are all going to receive and get to wear, as Zach and I are modeling tonight for you. Ooh, very nice. But we encourage you to wear these in public. We'll talk about it a little later too, but these are a fun way to encourage your taxpayers to come and say hi, ask you a question if they have a bond question, which is why we're doing a little quick 101 tonight. All right, big takeaways and what you guys as board members need to know moving forward. Other than that, MAPS kids are super cute. You guys have like the greatest pictures on your social media. Bond guidelines. So one of the handouts that I gave you this evening is your do's and don'ts and kind of a guideline sheet. I know that we've talked about this before, but it's kind of a general guideline of when you as a board member can share your personal opinion versus your public opinion. We call that information versus advocacy. So in your board role, when we're sitting here, when we're at the district, we need to be very informative. We need to be factual about the information that we're sharing. That's why all the information that you'll see coming from the district is very informative and factual. That's going to be checked by your district's legal representation and every core team member that's been hired by the district to do the work, right? We are all making sure that everything that we're sharing is very informational and factual, so that later, after this baby passes, we can celebrate and not worry about the legal questions. As a private citizen, you guys can feel free to share your opinion. If you are at home and someone on the street asks you in your private opinion as a taxpayer, you can say, yeah, I support the bond. But as a board member, you have to remain factual. So if you create that differentiation, you can do it. It's a hard conversation to have, right? As like having to say, I am acting as a taxpayer and this is what I think and what I feel. But these examples kind of give you guys a good guideline on where to go. If you have questions or if there's a situation that arises that you feel uncomfortable or maybe just have a question, feel free to reach out to me, reach out to Troon, reach out to any of the core team members. We are all fairly well versed in how to handle most of these things, and if not, we can ask the right people. So, any questions on the advocacy piece? I know it can get a little gray.
Will the charts on this flyer be on our website?
Yes.
Okay.
They absolutely will. that brings us into our fact sheet. Perfect question. Thank you. So the piece that you guys have in front of you is our fact sheet. Like I mentioned, holy grail, right? This is everything that you need to know about the bond. This will be the first piece that we mail to every single resident. It's going to be an every door direct mailer. So the post office is going to deliver this to every mailbox. The district will also have a bunch of extra copies in the boards like I have in front of me here. There's a little holder on the bottom corner. We have a little plastic holder that I sent with Courtney. There, so if anyone isn't around, and these are going to be in the doorways of every building, if people just want to walk on by and grab the fact sheet, they can grab the fact sheet. So we'll always have copies adjacent to these boards, and we're printing like 20 of them. So they're going to be all over the place. They're going to be in every building in the district. Zach's going to have a couple extras as he's going and doing his road show for presentations that maybe don't have access to like a projector. And they're going to be everywhere. It's going to be great. So this is our large scale board. And then in addition to that, we are going to recycle the content from this fact sheet many times. But one of those instances is a poster that I'm actually going to hand out to you guys tonight. It's an 11 by 17 version of this, scaled down. I'm going to give you each 5. And your homework from me is to please distribute them in the community. Find a gas station, find the library, find a bookstore, anywhere that would be welcome to sharing some bond information. It's all factual. It's not a yes or a no piece, and we would just love for them to display it until May 5th. So those will be coming to you before I leave. But other key takeaways on the fact sheet, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know. But basically, we took the best top information that we need to share and we need to make sure that everyone receives. The big takeaway here is that it directs everyone back to the website if they need more information, because there's more content and the background is all on that website, right? So if you guys have questions that people are asking you that you maybe don't know the answer to, always direct them back to that website. Some key priorities that you'll see on this fact sheet, but I did want to call out here is our safety, infrastructure, and programming, right? If anyone questions or asks you, like, what is your elevator speech about the bond? You can always go back to that SIP, safety, infrastructure, and programming. Those are the 3 key elements and priorities that the district wanted to cover and address with this bond proposal. Quick snip of our proposed project scope. If you are interested, that's also in here as a large printout. And that's actually also on the back of those little index cards that Zach and Courtney have been handing out, especially at presentations. It just gives people a really digestible breakdown of exactly what's included in that project scope and what each building is hopefully going to be receiving and improving with the bond plan. Preliminary site plan of the senior high school proposed improvements. So we do have a key that's included. Basically, the light pink color is renovation, and the darker red color at Bothwell Middle is the addition. And then the gray area is just existing building that will remain as is. So those are some visuals. It usually helps people, especially taxpayers, to understand what's going on if we give them a visual. As we don't have visuals of every single building, that's why we have the chart graphic. So everyone gets a little bit of a graphic element.
If I could add,
Yeah.
Bridget, even the gray areas are still being touched through some of the universal projects, if you will, furniture in pretty much every space, technology in pretty much every space is included. So they aren't necessarily the highest priority or the highest dollar projects, but there is still impact in even the gray spaces.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that addition. And then next slide here is Bothwell. So same plan key with the light pink being renovation, the darker red being the addition. So Bothwell is proposing to get an addition, and then the existing building. And as Zach mentioned, the impact will be there as well. Alrighty, then I wanted to also just kind of reiterate the estimated property tax impact and a couple charts that you see on that fact sheet. but that are important for you guys as board members to understand. So our $59.995 million bond has a 1.55 mils per thousand of taxable property value impact. And that's an addition or on top of the current millage rate. The phase borrowing in a series would be amortized for 28 years, which is less than most districts would take out, right? Usually they're going to extend that as far as they can up to 31 years. So that is just a big nod to you guys for taking on and trying to pay off that debt quicker. With the ability to refinance in 10 years. So that's always a nice caveat to remember, that if interest rates would become more favorable, you guys can refinance. And then the two charts that you see on the right, one is we call that our house chart, right? So people can find the value of their home and guesstimate what their annual and monthly impact would be if the bond were to pass. And then the regional mill comparison, I know you guys have seen that chart before. It's very impactful, especially here in MAPS, seeing how you guys compare to the other districts in the area in your millage rate, and how truly fiscally responsible that you guys have been. And I think that is a huge compliment to you guys and the work you've done. Next, homework I'd like to give you guys, or request I should say, is to please join us on March 2nd and 3rd for our bond town hall meetings. So these are the large open forum, hopefully inviting a lot of community members in to hear about the bond, hear about the where, when, why, and how we got here. The first and the second will be at Bothwell Middle with an optional tour at 3:30, followed by the presentation at 5 o'clock. And then the second meeting will be on the 3rd at senior high school, so here, starting again with the optional tour at 3:30 and the presentation with Q&A at 5. So I'd love for all of you to attend at least one of those. If you guys as board members, I know your schedules are busy, but if time allows, we'd love to see you guys there, show some support, hopefully see a lot of community members there with questions and support, etc. We did choose to do 2 different locations intentionally, mainly because those 2 school buildings are getting the most work based on the proposal. Besides just these 2 presentations, Zach's got a whole list of roadshow presentations that he and Courtney have been working really hard at scheduling. So there are a lot more opportunities to go out in the community. If you guys are willing and able, I'm sure Zach would love the support. If you guys would want to just attend and be there in solidarity, or you can stand up there with him while he's presenting, any and all friendly faces are welcome, right? When you're going to present in communities like this, especially if it's your home communities as board members, it's always lovely to see some local folks and have some additional support. So let us know if you want to know the dates. We'll share them. We're happy to share them. Alrighty, this is my wrap-up slide, and then I'll stop talking at you. Big picture of what you guys need to know as board members moving into this bond information campaign. Community-driven solution. So remember that survey that we did. We asked the community what they would support, and then we listened to them by adopting a less dollar amount than what they said they would support at the $59.995 million with the 155 millage impact. I think that's a really good story to tell. Especially in the communities as they're like, where did this plan come from? We asked you guys. You told us exactly what you wanted to see. Priorities, as we mentioned earlier, are SIP, safety, infrastructure, and programming. That is what we prioritized in this entire bond proposal, and what we hope to accomplish for the students of MAPS. And every building and every student will be impacted by this proposal. Every student will see improvements in their buildings, and I think that's huge. Always direct them to visit the district website if people need more information. There's a ton of information out there. Please encourage your constituents to attend a town hall meeting on the 2nd or the 3rd, or check out Zach's schedule and see when they can, be reached in the community at Lions Club, Rotary, etc. And last but not least, make sure we vote, and we encourage everyone that we encounter to vote on May 5th, because I think the more people we get out there to vote, the more positive of an outcome we will see. Any questions for me on the handouts or on anything that I covered? Sorry I speak quickly, but I had a lot to get through and I didn't want to take up too much of your time.
Thank you, Bridget, for
Yeah.
the information. Two quick questions. Do you know approximately the date? I know you mentioned about 10 days, but do you know the date that the mailers are going out?
So I just
and
talked to
will
the
receive?
district's printing partner today, and they said they can, as soon as we get them a final version, which is what you have in your hands right now, which I'll send it to them tomorrow, they said about 7 to 10 business days from then.
Businesses,
Yeah.
okay. And is it just this that's going out, or is it both?
It will be this that's going out, and it'll actually come folded in half. So this is where their mailing will be. That's why you see the large black and red. That's where the mailing insignia has to go. So it'll come like this in the mail. The insert is just for you guys. That's the advocacy handout, is just kind of a helpful hint for you guys as well. But the boards, so I printed 3 of them to bring them up today to make sure, but the other 20 are coming up with my next Marquette friend coming from Neenah to Marquette. And then those will be, you'll see those in the school buildings probably this week. And then the posters I'm sending home with you guys, so they'll be out in the community as soon as they are able.
Thank you. And for the addition at Bothwell, just in case, for those that are watching, do you happen to be able to recall the square footage that would be? And is it a first floor and or second floor?
Square footage, I do not have off the top of my head. I would have to check with my friend Travis over at IDI. But I believe it's first floor addition.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, but I can get that to you. Any other questions, thoughts? We liking our branding? Looking good?
Looks very good.
Very mapsy?
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you all for your time. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Joyce. We also have some buttons for them when you're handing out swag. So, yeah, go ahead. I think the students might already have one. But I know L needs a second one because the backing fell off, and I made sure she knew that she had more where that came from, so.
Yeah.
As they're handing out, Ms. Cambenzi, that's all I have.
Okay.
So no rush on this, but that's all I have. Thank you.
Sounds good. All right, so moving on to approving the consent agenda, which would include the minutes of the organizational and regular meeting of January 12th, 2026, minutes of the committee of the whole and special meeting of February 2nd, 2026, the personnel report dated February 2026, and the financial reports of January 2026. So I would entertain a motion to approve those.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support. Okay. Motion made by Mr. Zadudnik, support by Ms. Ray. Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to our student school board representatives report.
For academics, freshmen through juniors submitted their class signups for next year last Thursday, and we are offering some new amazing classes. And MSHS HOSA will be hosting the annual regional competition all day on Saturday, February 28th, and this will decide what students get to compete in HOSA states. For athletics, alpine skiing recently qualified for states. Hockey is finished with regular season play and is heading to playoffs. Boys basketball wraps up their season this week, regular season, with a conference game in Kingsford this week. Girls basketball has a few regular season games left, with one in Houghton tonight. Wrestling had individual districts last weekend and finished their season strong, and bowling took fourth at UP Finals. Okay, for our arts, the MSHS chorale students attended solo and ensemble last Friday in Marquette and did great. And then some things that student council is working on. We had a very successful rescheduled winter homecoming assembly that included a winter sports relay with special guests from Central, including Mr. Sedgwick. The staff team did actually win. Congratulations. 5 executive board members, including Eleanor and I, recently met with Myron Construction, Media Brew, and Mr. Sedgwick, and Maps Legends Ed and Tinker and the janitor crew to film advertisements for the Maps bond proposal. We visited Bothwell Middle School and the basement of MSHS to capture the guts of our buildings and the state that they are in to inform voters. And up next, Student Council is planning our annual Spring Twerp Dance, and that dance will be March 7th, and we have decided on a Mamma Mia theme.
Excellent, thank you so much. Let's see, comments from the public? I don't think we have any. New business. Consider adoption of the 2026-2027 Schools of Choice Resolution. I believe that is in our packet.
I believe this is an annual item that we review, correct?
This is correct.
And I'll just make mention that there's we're opening unlimited seats other than second grade. And that's because we have especially large numbers in our second grade, but then we do have a limited opening for second grade later in the summer, later in the enrollment process or the enrollment window in August for even second grade, but that would be limited.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion to adopt the School of Choice Resolution for the 2026-2027 school year.
I move that we adopt the School of Choice Resolution for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Support.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Smith, support by Mrs. Maddox Smith. Any further comments or questions?
Mr. Sedgwick, can you, just real quick on this, you said second grade will entertain limited applications, correct? And then re-review this summer?
So for the initial unlimited opening, second grade would be excluded. So it'd be K through 1 and then 3 through 12 unlimited, and Ms. Hopper can give you the dates of that window. But then later in the summer, we will have limited openings for all grades to include second, correct?
Just be limited.
Oh, limited for second only because we had already unlimited. Yeah.
And everything will be open through August 20th.
Right. So that window stayed open, right, for everybody but second grade, limited openings for second grade starting in August, later in August.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Okay, we have motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Consider vote for Region 1 MASB Board of Directors. That is also in your packet. So there are 2 candidates for Region 1. The first is Brad Baltensberger. He is the incumbent. And then J.J. Johnson Reeves from Escanaba Area Public Schools is running against. So Region 1 is the same region that I am also a member of, so I will be abstaining from this vote. But if there's any questions or if anyone wants to nominate one of the 2 candidates.
I would like to nominate Brad Baltensberger, that we support him for the MASB Board of Directors.
Okay, we have motion. Do we have support? Support. Okay. We have motion and support to nominate or endorse Brad Baltonsberger.
Who was the second on that, Kristen?
Ms. Ray.
For Ray. And I do need to do a roll call vote since it is a, so like Kristen said, we have a motion to vote for Brad. So you're either gonna say A or nay. We would need a quorum to approve that, and then the full board would vote for him, is how it would work. So I'm gonna we'll call the roll call. It would be Eric Smith,
Yes.
Cassidy Thomas,
Yes, A.
Cheryl Maddox Smith,
A.
Jason Zadunik,
Yes.
and Jennifer Ray.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Okay. So that's all we had to do for that?
That is it.
Perfect. Okay. Moving on to board member comments. We'll start with Mr. Smith.
Last Friday, I had the opportunity to attend the legislative roundtable held at Marisa, and I will confess that it was an eye-opening experience. The candidness of the legislators, we had legislators from not only the Upper Peninsula, but also the lower part of Michigan, presenting their thoughts and views on education. And there were a couple of things that struck me. One, that state education funding concerns are present regardless of the district that you're in. And the legislators are struggling with how to adequately fund K-12 education. There was little disagreement about the importance of education, which I also found interesting. We usually think of legislators as being somewhat diverse and there being a conflict of opinions. There really wasn't any disagreement about how well we need to educate our students. What was abundantly clear was the fact that the state can't keep up with infrastructure maintenance. And that was a primary topic. And I want to give a shout out to our superintendent, Mr. Sedgwick, for his candid comments about some of the issues that are affecting local school districts, and especially when it comes to infrastructure funding. And of course, this all leads into the bond proposal that we are putting before voters on May 5th. But the legislators were quite clear that there is no way to keep all of the buildings in the state of Michigan adequately funded so that maintenance needs can be fully met. And then I think the conclusion that all of us walked away with, and I should say that the superintendents and all of the representatives from schools that were there present for the forum were in agreement that it is a problem, and it's something that we need to deal with as not only school boards and as administrators, but also as the public. So I would just encourage, and Bridget, this speaks to your presentation this evening, it's really critical that people educate themselves about the needs of Marquette Public Schools and some of the things that we're attempting to do to improve the quality of education for people like the students that are sitting next to me here. All of this will come together on May 5th, and I'm just hopeful that people will take a close look at what our needs are and then make their own decision about how we're going to continue to educate kids here in the Marquette area.
Thank you so much. Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Bridget, for coming and chatting with us. I look forward to educating people about the bond. And thank you to our student school board representatives. Sounds like there's a lot going on. Best of luck to all the teams in their playoff games, and have fun at Torque.
Thank you. Ms. Maddox-Smith?
Thank you. Echoing what everybody's already said, thank you, Bridget, for the great presentation. I mean, that was a lot of information, and you just condensed it and gave it to us, and that's super helpful because when we're in the public and we're talking, you know, we need to be able to do that too, and so that helps us to condense and get that positive message out. So thank you so much. our students being involved in the bond is amazing. I love that you guys toured the schools and were involved, and I mean, it's for the students, and so I'm just so glad to hear that. I don't know that other schools do that as much, and I just think that's a testament to MAPS and valuing our students and our education. I mean, healthy schools, healthy communities, we know that moving forward. Yeah, just it's nice hearing about the twerp and all the other fun stuff going on. With all the bond stuff going on, it's just nice hearing all the little nuances that are going on. As far as the MASB nomination for Brad Baltensberger, I do just want to comment that I've had the opportunity to meet Brad several times at annual leadership conferences in Lansing and Traverse, and he's pretty amazing. I mean, he's been doing this for like 38 years. He's pretty dedicated. I don't know that I would do anything for 38 years. I didn't really know the other lady very well. I did make a little bit of contact with her, but I think Brad will be a strong continued representative for Region 1, which is us in the UP, and for all rural schools. So I think it's a safe and a good vote for us. Thanks everybody for your hard work. I know that as we get closer to the vote time, to May 5th, things will be a little more tense and maybe not as fun, but hopefully we can, just stay focused and students first. I love every student, every building. Thank you.
Mr. Zdunek.
Thank you to Bridget. Thank you. I'm terrible with names, but Courtney, thank you. I've seen the emails, but very terrible with names, so I appreciate the efforts that you made as well in that, and thank you to our students.
Thank you. Ms. Ray?
I'm just really impressed with how far we've gotten and so quickly, and it's been a lot of time and effort put in by the administration, by you all, and it's exciting to see that we're here. We all know the importance of voting. That's where our voice is heard, and so I just really want to encourage the community to ask the questions, to come and ask us the questions, ask the students the questions, because I think they're pretty versatile on there, and they're in the schools at the moment, but to also come and tour the schools to see where we are and where we want to go with this bond. And staying engaged in our community and voting are two really critical things. So I want to encourage everyone to vote on May 5th. Thank you.
Thank you. Board president comments. Just echoing what everyone's already said. Thank you so much for all of your hard work, both of you and our administrative team, and our students. Thanks for being here and for all the hard work that you guys are doing for this too. And the tagline, every building, every student, I mean, that is huge, and that's why we're doing this, for our students and for our future and for our community. Announcements and other meetings. March 2nd, optional building tour of Bothwell Middle School at 3:30 p.m. with the presentation at 5. March 3rd, optional building tour of Marquette Senior High School, 3:30 p.m. and presentation at 5. March 4th and 5th, 6 through 12 parent-teacher conferences. March 6th, 6 through 12 half day. March 9th through 13th, kindergarten registration. Ooh, I came quick. March 16th, PD day, no school for students. March 23rd, board meeting in the library here at 5:30. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion
to adjourn.
Oh, wow.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Ms. Thomas, support by Mr. Zdunek. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.